versatility that we've been talking about.
Al taps, throws, caught. Dotson, his first of the game. And then the speed. Jahan Dotson into Dallas territory, and he's in.
Throw it for the first time.
And over the middle has McLaurin racing in for the end zone and a score.
Let's take from now when I usually I can't help it. When I look at this roster, when I look at this offense, I can't help but think that we're about to explode like a bomb. When I look at now being a realist, the offensive line has to work. That we have to get the right start. If we get the right starting five out of all these offensive linemen we got, and we get a pretty good starting five and a nice bench, which I think we got, the sky's the limits. Because if the next worry would be Sam Howell, I'm not worried about Sam. Why? Because, like I said, I've been down here in North Carolina. And Sam is a high school football legend here. He's a college football legend here. And the same things we seen down here in high school and college was the same thing I seen in the Dallas game. That's just who he is. He's going to bring that to the table. And then, got some people be like, well, Sam got drafted in the 5th round. Well, I know you're tired of hearing people say this over and over again. He didn't have the weapons that he had in the first 2 years. I mean, he didn't. He didn't have Newsom. He didn't have Brown. And speaking of Brown, since I want to talk about these weapons so much, Dyami Brown was his number one receiver there. Guess what? Dyami is his number 4 receiver now. So imagine how much talent he has. When you look at the running backs, when you look at a guy like Antonio Gibson, who basically can play wide receiver in this league. Seriously, can play wide receiver in this league and running back in this league. Curtis Samuel, another one that can play running back, could be a 3rd down running back in this league as well, and a wide receiver. 2 X factors on offense. Brian Robinson. And I'm not even going to bring up the kid we just drafted, 2 bruisers looking for contact. We take one out, we bring another one in to completely destroy your defensive line. Then you got Cole Turner. This is a guy that last year, before we seen Amani Rodgers, last year, before Logan was coming back, this was the guy that when drafted, most people that follow this team was excited about. Well, guess what? He's 100% healthy this year. What is he? 6'6"? Long wingspan. Jahan Dotson. I could talk about Jahan Dotson all day. This is a guy that literally, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Like I said, I'm being biased. I'm being subjective. I'm being a straight homer in this video. This guy has a Cris Carter skill set. And what I mean by that, if you ever watch Cris Carter play, he has a Cris Carter skill set. Hands bananas, can literally just, you stand in front of him, he can literally break you down and get to the end zone. This guy has 7 touchdowns and missed about 5 or 6 games. Led the rookies, receivers in touchdowns and missed 5 or 6 games. You looking at, if this guy was healthy all year long, you're actually looking at probably 12 tubs, 10 at the least. And last but not least, Scary Terry. Out of all of those weapons I named, it was one time when Terry was just here by himself. He had no Jahan. He had no Curtis. He had no Brian Robinson. He had no Christian Rodriguez. He had no Cole Turner. It was just him. 10 quarterbacks this guy has been through in the time that he's been here. And no matter which one of those 10 quarterbacks was throwing him the football, whether it was whoever, Taylor Heineke, whether it was anybody that we had. I don't even want to go through those 10 quarterbacks. It's so crazy. Alex Smith, no matter who it is, this guy shows up, puts his hard hat on, and gets his touches and puts pressure on any defensive back he's faced. Period. Put Darius Slay in front of me, I destroy him. You put Gilmore in front of me, I destroy him. What's the guy in Green Bay that's really good? Destroyed him. It really doesn't matter who you put in front of him. You can't cover him. And Jahan's another guy. The scary thing about Jahan actually ceiling is higher than Terry's. Jahan's a 1st round pick. Terry's a 3rd round pick. Don't forget that. If we wouldn't have picked Jahan, somebody else was about to grab him. Jahan was even mad that he got picked as low as he did last year. And he was a 1st round draft pick. He holds a grudge about that. Why? Because he feels he's an animal. 2, because he felt like he's better than all those guys. 3, he led the rookies in freaking touchdowns last year with 7 and missed 5 games. Thirdly, I know you guys have been keeping up with OTAs. I know you guys are familiar with the offensive coordinator we have here who's demanding damn near perfection. Coach is hard. That's all he knows is the coach hard. And everybody is feeling the presence right now. Everybody is feeling the energy right now. You even had defensive players saying, hey, we feel the energy. Even Cam Curl said a little something. He said, they trying to go over the top. I see some things they doing, but boom, that's expected. Cam Curl's been in the same defense for 4 years, and they just added to it. So yeah, they're going to start out slow. But I think this offense is an explosion waiting to happen. It's an explosion waiting to happen. And like I told y'all, this is the fanboy me. Even though I'm not a fanboy, but I'm just a fanboy me. But hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that share, hit that bell. More content is definitely on the way. And let's take command.